Utah custody battles. Who really decides who gets the kids? Well, let's assume for a minute that you weren't able to resolve your case at mediation. Now, in my practice, more than 90% of our cases involving custody, we're able to solve it at mediation. But if it's going to go to court, some things to think about and know going in and ahead of time. Number one, custody isn't about who loves the kids more. It's about stability and sanity and consistency with those kids. It's about cooperation. The judge is looking at which parent is going to let the kids be with the other parent and be part of their lives. You know, which parent is going to not use the kids as a weapon, which parent has steady work, which parent cooperates and helps and is kind to the other parent, who doesn't badmouth the other parent. You know, that consistency in those things. As a matter of fact, there are 18 factors that the court might look at when it comes to a custody evaluation. Some of them are religious compatibility. Who's going to be the best to deal with their medical needs or their physical needs or emotional needs, you know, and who has been doing it. So the court favors stability and those sorts of things. So, you know, so what that means is this. It's not emotion and it's not social media, but it can be social media, especially if you're mean and vindictive and attacking the other spouse. If you say, hey, I want custody, I'm the great mom, I'm going to have religious compatibility with my kids, but then on the weekend that you don't have the kids or stuff online about you partying up in Vegas. You're not very consistent. That shows a difference. Now, nothing inherently wrong, but if it's in the middle of a custody battle and you're saying one thing and doing another, it's not going to look good and it could hurt your case. So bottom line is this. I've seen cases lost and won by Facebook posts, Instagram posts, text messages between people, you know, videos on TikTok, and that sort of stuff. So a couple of things. If you're going to go have that fun weekend, keep your settings on your social media so that if someone else takes a selfie in the video of you and the people, you know, people having a good time, that before it hits your page, you have to approve it. You can maybe keep that off and just ask your friends, hey, let's go have a good time, but we're not doing any social media about this, so it doesn't hurt my custody case. I'm not saying lie, but just be careful. Don't badmouth the other parent. I've said that 3 times in this. You're catching a trend. So, and I've seen that happen where people have said on social media, I don't want kids. And then they stand up in court and say, I love my kids, I want kids. And I hold up the post. They said online to the whole world that they didn't like kids, and yet they're going to come in here and lie to you, judge, and say they do. Who are they lying to? Right? The rest of the world, or the one guy that can make a big decision that's going to impact their financial lives. What do you think the judge is going to say about that? So here's the deal. That stability, cooperation, and those 18 factors is what makes a determination. So one of the things, if you're going into a custody battle, ask me, hey, Travis, will you give me those 18 factors? I'll be glad to print that and hand it to you so you have a guide for your behavior. But be good at it. Don't do stuff. So here's the thing. Keep records. Stay calm. Document everything. Don't have crazy emotional outbursts. When somebody else posts something, your ex posts something really bad online, screen save it. You know, screenshot that. Save it. Take a picture of it. So you've got a record of their bad stuff if you might need it in court. So that's the biggest mistake. And that's what gets people in trouble. And what will sometimes hurt a custody battle more than anything is things that are said online. So be careful with that. The other thing that most of my judges that I deal with focus on a ton is which parent is going to be the most cooperative, the most willing to let the other parent be involved in the lives of the kids. There are other factors, but that's a big one. Which one is helping with homework? Which one is doing that kind of stuff? Who's responsible? Who is stable? Who seems to have the best bond with the kids? Those are the things that the court's going to look at, and then you need to make sure that you're doing things that aren't going to hurt that or make you seem like a hypocrite. If you're going through a custody battle, or you're afraid you're going to be going through one and stuff, give us a call. My name is Travis Christiansen of Greater Zion Law, Boyack Christiansen. We would be happy to help. You can find us at greaterzionlaw.com.